boy, I wouldn't want to be Sonos these days. The company's been getting all kinds of blowback over changes to its app, all while trying to launch a completely new product, the Sonos Ace headphones. That means the other thing trying to make a big splash has kind of gotten lost.
While those two news items have been grabbing all the headlines, the company quietly refreshed and relaunched one of Sonos' most popular speakers, the Sonos Roam compact portable speaker.
Meet Sonos Roam 2. But is this a big change and a significant improvement to the original, or more of a polish-up?
In this review, I'll go hands-on with the newest version. I'll evaluate what's changed and still the same, and then I'll wrap things up with the pros and the cons of this device overall and let you know if I think I can recommend it to you either as a brand new speaker or if you should look at upgrading.
Let's look at what you're getting here. The Sonos Roam 2 is a small wireless portable speaker option that Sonos wants to take with you in the yard, camping, and on the go. It can be used either horizontally or vertically, and Roam can be controlled with the Sonos app or using the subtle but easy to locate buttons on top. It will connect using Wi-Fi, so it can join your larger Sonos system at home, or using Bluetooth, where you can use it anywhere, even off-grid.
I feel like I should jump in here with a quick note on what is the same in version 2. Battery life unfortunately hasn't improved, and it does have the same IP67 waterproofing, but it still doesn't float. It comes with automatic TruePlay tuning support, it features integrated microphones, and has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and AirPlay 2 support baked right in. Let's get to what's new then. There are 3 improvements when it comes to the second generation model here, and while a couple of them are welcome, for the most part the changes are kind of underwhelming and really designed to make this speaker more appealing to new buyers who may have read reviews of the original version. Now fortunately, Sonos isn't going to charge you more for these updates. The price stays put, and in case you're wondering, Sonos Roam and Sonos Roam 2 are compatible, so you can pair them together for stereo sound. I never had issues using my original Sonos Roam at home or outdoors because I set it up at home using Wi-Fi, and the process is just like setting up any other Sonos speaker. But if anyone skipped that step and decided to travel with the speaker, you likely found out you have to actually connect it using Wi-Fi first before you can switch to using it with Bluetooth. Kind of annoying, and that means taking an extra and kind of unnecessary step and possibly dealing with a malfunctioning speaker if you didn't. Now again, I never experienced this issue, but plenty of other users did, and Sonos heard those complaints loud and clear.
So the physical extra Bluetooth button, silly as it sounds, finally lets you pair Roam 2 directly with your phone without complications, like you can with pretty much every other Bluetooth speaker. The new USB-C cable is a welcome improvement, and like most electronics manufacturers, you're not getting a plug in the package here. Of all the things Sonos chose to refresh, printing the logo in the same color scheme as the rest of the speaker seems needless. I suppose having the logo blend in helps to differentiate Roam from Roam 2 at a glance, but there's no other reason for this change that I can see.
So as you can see, the biggest upgrade is the improvement in Bluetooth connectivity, which is a big deal in some circles. So in my opinion, if you already own a Roam speaker, there's no need to upgrade just to step to the second generation. But if you were holding off on making a purchase, you can now rest assured that you should have a much easier time with version 2 here. I will say a few words here about the Sonos app. I have had years of frustrations trying to get my speakers set up and connected, and have spent literally hours on the phone with Sonos customer support trying to navigate the setup process across various speakers that I've tested and reviewed. The Sonos app has been a well-documented pain point for a lot of people, me included, and I may be one of the few, though, who seems to have had an easier time with the new version of the Sonos app, and by this I mean I only had to run through the setup process 2 or 3 times before it would take, as opposed to the 24 or so that it used to take me before. Now, while I still think this is a poor user experience, technically speaking, it is an improvement, so I guess I should just be happy.
I'll round things out here with a quick touch on sound quality and battery life. These are big components of a speaker review, but since I covered these extensively in my original Roam review and everything stayed the same on the inside, there's not much to add, so let's call this a recap. Roam is super small but definitely has power. It sounds a lot bigger than it is. Sitting next to it, 50% volume was more than enough, and in a bigger open space, it's also surprisingly able to fill it. The overall audio quality is really good and the speaker's well tuned, and it's possible to get a lot of depth in the music. As I noted in the Gen 1 speaker, there's also a lot of warmth to the sound and the vocals sound outstanding. The music is really well balanced overall, which is no surprise. Sonos invests a lot in its speakers, so I'm not at all surprised I like the sound of this one. Outdoors, you'll not surprisingly need more volume the further you are away from it, but it does seem like it can dial up just the right amount of power.
Roam gets about 10 hours of battery life from one charge here, and in my tests I got just under 10 hours. 10 hours isn't a lot for a portable wireless speaker, particularly when other portable models can give you 20 hours or more, so this is kind of a big downside.
When it comes to charging, you can either use the 90-degree USB-C cable that's included with the speaker or purchase an optional wireless charging base.
Original Sonos Roam had a big problem for me, and that was that the smart power saving feature didn't work correctly out of the box, and the speaker would drain if it wasn't shut down completely. Now, I am glad to say that Sonos fixed this with a firmware update several months after my initial review, and with this second generation speaker, it appears the speaker will indeed power down on its own if it hasn't been used in about 30 minutes. Now, if this is problematic for you, you can actually turn that setting off inside the Sonos app, but it does arrive on by default.
Overall, Sonos Roam 2 isn't a big upgrade, but Sonos is listening to its customers and making tweaks where necessary, and I consider that a big plus.
Let's go over the pros and the cons so you can see if this speaker might be worth adding to your Sonos smart home.
On the pro side, the speaker is small, highly portable, and lightweight, and it's waterproof. The design lets you use it laying flat or standing on its end, and it can really crank. Sonos has made the addition of a Bluetooth button a good selling feature since it means you can now use it more easily away from home. But the speaker is not without its downsides, mainly that it still doesn't float and the battery life is on the lower side.
I believe a theoretical Sonos Roam 3 will deliver the audio quality or battery gains that we want if Sonos does start to feel threatened by a Bluetooth competitor in this price range. There is also the matter of the Sonos app and the larger ecosystem not functioning as seamlessly as it should. But if you have the patience or you're too deep into the ecosystem to back out now, Sonos Roam 2 should be able to play very nicely in the sandbox, particularly since you don't need to use Wi-Fi to use it.
Bottom line, if you're a Sonos loyalist or you're hunting for a great sounding portable speaker and you got a bit more money to spend, Roam 2 is a fine choice.
If you're just looking for something for tailgating or to toss into the cup holder for camping, this may be overkill. Sonos Roam sells for about $229 Canadian or $169 US, and it is available from Sonos, Amazon, and other electronics retailers. And if you want to learn more about Sonos at-home options, you can see what having one of their larger speakers is like, or check out some other less expensive portable wireless Bluetooth speaker choices right now.